Good morning. It is Monday morning, meaning it's time for some Motivational Monday. My name is Pastor Christopher here at Urbana United Methodist Church. Pray that your week is starting off strong and exciting and filled with joy. I was contemplating the idea of why we even do church. I was thinking about what are the components that make church church, what's necessary, what's not. And in Matthew chapter 16, verses 18, Jesus says, I will build my church, and the gates of death will not overcome it. And the word for church there in the Greek is the ecclesia, and it means called out ones. And it's people. It's not a building, it's not a program, it's people. And Jesus said he would build it, not us. And so, right there, you could probably already start to see some contradictions on the way we all tend to do church. And I'm not saying they're all bad or wrong or all need to be changed, but there is a baseline here. It's something that Jesus builds, and it's people. And that means the church was his idea before it was anybody else's. So there are, I believe, three components to what church is, and maybe this is what you're searching for on what you're looking for in church and your place in it and your purpose. The first is the church exists to worship. The called out ones, the ecclesia, were first called to God to give of themselves before we're ever sent into the world. We're called to worship the one who created it. And worship is our reminder of who we belong to. And that weekly rhythm is so valuable to ground us in God, who is bigger than us, his church that is bigger than us, the one that he is building it, not us. The second thing is the church exists to make other ecclesia, called out ones, disciples. The ones that go before God are ones that are called to bring others before God. Discipleship is what happens when the called out ones, the ecclesia, start looking more and more like the one who called them, Jesus. And we don't do this in isolation. It happens in community. It happens in the Word, and it happens in relationships, and it happens in accountability. And that's why it's so important to have a rhythm, a regular moment where we check in and reset and check in with God and each other. And then the last thing I think to simplify why the church is important, why it happens, is the church exists to carry out the mission. Jesus says the gates of death will not overcome it. Gates are not offensive weapons, they're defensive ones, and that means that the church is the one who is on the move, advancing into the dark places, carrying the light of the gospel into every corner of the world and in our neighborhoods and in our families. We're not just called out to just be, we're called out to go into the world. So the point of all this is the church is not only attendance, it is our identity, to be the called out ones, to gather and worship, to be shaped as disciples and sent on mission. So as you go out through your week, I invite you to wrestle with, where are you in the ecclesia? How are you being called out by God to worship, to make disciples, and to be sent? Have a great week.